Welcome to another edition of Whiskey, Games, and Nerd Stuff. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about the game Friday, a solo adventure, and continue with our Johnnie Walker High Rise. I talked briefly about this game the other day that I picked it up, started playing it, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with this. It's a nice simple game where basically you're just trying to help Robinson get off the island. And it's a very simple play. You start out with 20 life, and you have various section of cards. We have fighting cards, age cards, and basically events or challenges, however you want to call it. What happens is you flip over two cards. I'll move this down a little bit more. Actually, let's move the pirates out of the way. And then what you're doing is you're trying to fight these challenges. So this one is exploring the island, and this one is with the raft to the wreck. So what happens is you flip these over, and these have numbers. When you first start out, you're in a green level. It goes to yellow, then it goes to red, and then once you complete the red, then you'll fight the pirates. You'll have two pirate ships that you'll fight. And what happens is when you flip over the challenge, depending on, you pick one of them. So for example, I'm going to pick the one that just has a 0 here. So this is a free card, so you get a free fighting card. I pick it over and it's a 2. The 2 is greater than the 0 in the green, so that means I met that particular challenge. So then what happens is you get both of these, and then this turns into an additional fight card. I move on. Then you do another round. Okay, so now I can say, okay, here's a challenge with a 0. Here's a challenge with a 2. Let's go ahead and try the challenge with a 2, which is further exploring the island. So there's a 3 there. So of these 3 cards, I've got to get the total to add up to more than 3. So that's a 1. There's another 1, and then a 1. So in this particular one, the 3, actually, sorry, I could have stopped at 2. The 2 equals that 2. This turns into another fight card. Now, they're not all this simple. Some of these cards actually have negative numbers, and as these get higher, you want to figure out what you want to do. So we'll go ahead and try this one, which is exploring the island again, where we've got 2 free cards to get that 1. And just for the purpose of the video, I'll show you some of the other cards that could have gotten. So in this case, it could have been a 0. So we still got another free card. There could have been a -1. Well, at this point, if I've got 0 and -1, I'm at -1. I can either, because I use my free cards, I can pay some of my life to get another card, or I can choose to lose this challenge and pay a life. Part of the strategy here is, do you pay to lose the life, to lose that challenge, and the challenge is going to be the difference of what you have versus here. So if I'm -1 and I was supposed to get 1, I would need to pay 2 life to get this challenge. Or I can pay a life for another card. So in this case, if I were to pay another life for another card, okay, well now I got -1. So now I'm at -2. Well, in this first set of cards, they're either going to be 0s, 1s, -1s, and there may be a 2 in here. So I would just bite the bullet and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pay 2 life to make that 2, or to even that to a 0, pay 1 more to make it 1. Now I'm going to say I win this challenge. Now what I can do is I can pay an additional life to get rid of some cards. So I'm going to get rid of the 0 and the 2 -1s because I don't want them to come the next time around. So what happens is I do the same thing again, where do we want to do wild animals or with the raft to the wreck? So we'll do the wild animals. In this particular ones, I get 4 cards, but I got to get a 4. that have those numbers total to 4. If we were on the yellow level, it would be 7. If we were on the red level, it would be 11. So 4 is going to be a little challenge. So we've got -1, -1. So now -2, 0, and 0. Well, at this point, what I would do is I would pay the life to pass this. So if I were to pay, we'll call it 6 life for that difference, or what I need to pass, then I would pay an additional life to get rid of these, because I don't want these fight cards, these particular cards, to come back later on. And then put that up here. Once you go through the full deck of these challenges, well, actually, you keep doing these fight cards. When you get to the end, you grab one of these cards. And these cards are basically age cards. So the longer you play, the more Robinson ages. The more he ages, the more things can happen. And this could be a -2. There's -1s, -3s. Well, what happens is once you finish through all your challenges, or the advance, however you want to call it, your first series, you're going to go through the green. You do it again, and then you go through the yellow, trying to beat the yellow number. So in that particular case, we would have to get a 7. Then you go through it in red. Once you beat it in red, if you still have life left, then you've got to fight the pirates. Well, the pirates work the same way. So the first pirate would be, I need to draw 8 cards, and those 8 cards, these values need to add up to 8 for me to pass that. You draw 8 cards, and of your 8, you would need to get to 30. If I had additional life, I could pay. And then there's this one where if I were to decide to fight this one first, I can do 7 cards to try and get 16. But instead of paying 1 life for additional card, I pay 2 lives for additional cards. So I've played this game a couple times already, and the last 24 hours or so have yet to even get to the pirates. And I'm still filling out, making sure that I'm doing the rules correctly. And I know I'm missing a few things, but kind of the gist of it is, it's a nice little solitaire game. You know, I've played it for a bit, and the time's definitely passed along. It always helps when you have a little bit of a nice little drink. And I will continue to play this a little bit more after I've played it for a length of time, understand what rules I'm doing differently, kind of go through all that. I'll kind of post a follow-up. And of course, if you played this game and you have tips and tricks, and whether you enjoyed it or not, please feel free to leave a comment. Once again, I would like to thank everybody for taking the time to watch this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. And if you've played this game or have other solo games that you would recommend, please, 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 would love to hear in the comments. Until next time, cheers.